3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Hey there, my name is Hannah Itia, and I'm the Extended Learning Coordinator for Technology Access Foundation. Today, I'm at our Life After High School fair, and we have people from colleges and different careers here to table and provide our students with workshops. And here with me, I have my student ambassadors.
Hi, I'm Reddit.
Hi, I'm Abby.
Hi, I'm DJ.
Hi, I'm Nevaeh, and we are talking to community partners.
Why are you courageous?
I'm courageous because I took a stand creating my first own business, which is a nursing company called Abundance Health LLC, to provide nursing services to the community.
I think I'm courageous by taking initiative, and sometimes I find that I'm courageous just by embracing change.
I would say I'm courageous because I'm not afraid to make the correct choice. Doing anything, sometimes it takes courage to call people out, or if they're doing something wrong, to let them know they're doing it wrong, because someone might get hurt.
Why is it important to use your voice?
Oh, well, your voice is your most powerful tool, right? You have a ton of lived experience. All of us do, right? And your lived experience is extremely valuable, and is part of the reason why you're a contributor to any organization that you work for or any school that you're engaged in.
It's important to use your voice. I think of it as advocating. Advocating is so important on so many levels, and I do that every day with the type of work that I do.
Them seeing me or you use your voice and speak up, that gives them confidence to use theirs.
How will you take action?
I will take action by continuing to use my voice, being in settings like this, letting people know my story, where I'm at today, and where I came from.
I think by finding causes that I care about is really important, and by doing research, by figuring out what the community needs is really important to me.
Boy, I take action by being involved in my community, being involved in my profession and leadership, and trying to help inspire others to follow pursuit.
All right, wow. A round of applause for those courageous students and partners, please. Welcome, everyone. My name is Sade Moore, and I am a global program manager at Amazon Web Services, and I also serve as the president of Amazon's Black Employee Network, and I am a board member for TAF. Today, I have the honor of welcoming you all to the 2025 TAF Varsity Luncheon. Last year in this room, folks like you helped us raise nearly $500,000 to support TAF programs. Thanks to that generosity, over 80 teachers supported through instructional coaching, and 45 school districts in Washington State now have at least one educator impacted by TAF's work. We are all here today because we believe in the courage to act, to stand with students and create a better public education system. And that courage is especially important now, in a time where fear is used to hinder progress. Today, barriers are being put in place to slow down progress that has been made by organizations like TAF. Barriers that limit equality education and threaten public programs that support communities of color. That's why TAF and I are so grateful for everyone today, as it takes courage to stand together and say, I stand with students and educators because they deserve better. I'd like to thank TAF's district partners who courageously put students in the driver's seat of their learning. This year, TAF also onboarded a new partner, Yakima School District. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Thank you to TAF University partners who helped to build a diverse educator workforce for students as well. Let's give them also a round of applause. And a huge thank you to this year's sponsors, Amazon, including this beautiful space, Expedia Group, Brettler Foundation, and Alaska Airlines for standing with students. Also, thank you to the many TAF volunteers who took time throughout this week to give their time back. I also want to say thank you to my peers on the TAF board who advocate on behalf of TAF all the time. And of course, to the TAF staff who show up for teachers and students every day. It takes a village, y'all. So thank you to everyone in this room today for being a part of that village. All right, your financial support today means this work can continue and expand. It means public school students can receive an education that puts them at the center of their learning. Every gift of $360 or more, every monthly donation commitment today will be matched 100%, thanks to longtime supporters Evelyn Rosner and Matt Griffin. Let's give them a round of applause, please. That also means that committing just $30 a month, which is less than filling up your car with gas, will fund a whole year of STEM by TAF, which with two students, we thank you for that generous match, literally doubling the impact of your investment today. We also have some amazing raffle prizes. Will the TAF staff who are selling raffle prizes please raise your hands in the room? Thank you. These team members will be walking around the room to sell raffle tickets. And if you're interested in a chance to win 2 first-class tickets on Alaska, make sure to raise your hand and one of your raffle folks will come to you. All right now, without further delay, I am so excited to introduce 2 MCs that are shining examples of TAF's learning model and education. It is my pleasure to introduce this year's amazing MCs. 2 of staff's ambassador students at their flagship school, TAF at Sahali, Anisha and Luis. Let's give them a round of applause, please.
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody.
How's everyone doing today? I can't hear you.
Come on, guys.
That's better.
Hello, everybody. My name is Luis Hernandez, and I am a student here at TAF at Sahali. I've been here since the 6th grade back in 2018. I've been having 7 years of experience here.
My name is Anisha Gounder. I'm a 7th grader at TAF at Sahali, and I've been a TAF student for about 2 years.
It's so exciting to see so many people passionate about education and for you all to be willing to be courageous for students like us to be here today.
Today you will hear about how TAF is partnering with schools to bring the TAF model to even younger students, see some of the results from community partners and student presentations, and even hear from some past students who will be talking about their experience with TAF and how it has shaped their journey.
As for me, my journey at TAF at Sahali began in 2018 when I was in the 6th grade. It was just the 2nd year after the merger between Sahali Middle School and TAF Academy. And I believe that it has given me a good view of how the school has grown and changed since then. You know, so actually, funny story, funnily enough, I actually had a sibling that went to Sahali before it became TAF at Sahali. And I could just tell that so much has changed since then. And now, after the merger, we have tons of skills to learn, like in our makerspace, we have indoor gardens, and we even have a drone club after school. We would have actually brought a drone club if we could, but unfortunately, you guys know, it's a no-fly zone here in Seattle.
My journey with TAF has taught me to express myself in ways I wasn't able to before. Before I came to TAF at Sahali, I went to a private school where it wasn't diverse and didn't make me feel welcome like I do now. I wasn't able to be a leader at my old school because of the lack of opportunities. Now I have opportunities like student ambassadors, the ability to see myself in different careers, and more that have helped me become the student I am today.
We are so excited to share stories highlighting some of these opportunities and showcase what makes TAF so different.
When I wake up in the morning, even though some days it takes longer than others, I look forward to coming to a school that values my voice and choice.
Thank you for being here with us to take action, be courageous together, and change public education for students everywhere.
Hi, my name's Jenna T. Haynes, and I'm a 4th, 5th grade teacher at Roosevelt Elementary in Tacoma. And Thank you. And I'm excited to be here today to share kind of the transformation journey that I have experienced, and also Roosevelt, through the help of TAF. This journey began as a leap of faith into PBL, or project-based learning, and it is made possible through the incredible help and partnership that we have with TAF. Like many educators, I was initially nervous about adding more to an already packed day, and I wondered how I could integrate this new idea into something that's already really full, as it is. However, with TAF's dedication, with their coaches being guides, they helped show me that PBL wasn't just an extra to add into the day, but it was actually a way of making learning more meaningful and connected across all of the subjects. STEM by TAF model opened my eyes to different possibilities that I hadn't thought of. The true power of this shift was revealed itself through student-led initiatives. Last year, one of my students noticed a peer that was sitting outside our back doors, and they were using the school's Wi-Fi to connect their school computer to the internet. And so this observation sparked a larger conversation in our classroom. What does access to learning look like in our community? And what barriers do students have, and how can we be a part of that solution? So with that, my students were inspired to act, and they decided to develop a plan for an outdoor classroom, which would serve both as a learning space and also a resource for some students to be able to use the internet. So they worked through real-world math applications by calculating the area. They used coordinate planes to map out the furniture placement, and then they worked within a budget to make informed purchasing decisions. And when they encountered roadblocks, as Roosevelt not having the money to be able to fund this, they used their persuasive writing skills to write persuasive letters and grant proposals, which then changed into a donor's choose, and through their dedication and their hard work, it was fully funded. So they created their outdoor space. So yeah, it's pretty cool. That commitment is also extending through this year, because our 4th and 5th graders have decided that they really wanted to make this also an international peace site. So through their next PBL project, they'll work towards the dedication and working with Roosevelt and our staff to make, our population to have a dedication to be peaceful makers. This project also extended beyond their physical space last year when they did their science studies through their salmon exploration. They researched the land's history, and they recognized the importance and the acknowledgement of the indigenous people who have historically stewarded this area that Roosevelt's on. They wrote a thoughtful land acknowledgement and thanked the Puyallup tribe and pledged to protect all of its natural resources. And then they did an art project and created tile mosaics, which has their land acknowledgement on it. And we're still working at getting that funded to be able to be placed on the brick walls. This is just one example of how Roosevelt and project-based learning has transformed classrooms. With TAF's impact, it can be seen throughout Roosevelt. With PBL and TAF have initiated a cultural shift where teachers on all grade levels are embracing interdisciplinary, student-driven projects that connect learning across all subjects in real-world issues. Students throughout the school are now taking ownership to their learning. They're asking critical questions, they're applying knowledge in ways that extend way beyond the classroom. Classrooms are seamlessly integrating English and math into science and social studies, and they're creating an engaging and authentic learning experience. Roosevelt has also strengthened their connection with the broader community by engaging in projects that have a tangible impact that is beyond our school community. Our students are not just preparing for the future, but they're also actively reshaping and changing the future. I invite all of you to come visit Roosevelt and witness this transformation firsthand. Meet students who are engaged and as they tackle real-world problems with curiosity and determination, and experience the power of student-led learning in action. This journey has been nothing short of extraordinary for me personally and for Roosevelt, and I am honored to be a part of a school community that is embracing change and fostering innovation and empowering students to be leaders. Now I'd like to invite our TAF coach up, Jackie, and a couple of my students, and they can tell you a little bit about their experiences in the classroom.
Thank you so much, Ms. Haynes. We have some students here who are going to share with you. And first, I would like you to introduce yourselves, your grade, and something you like about your class.
Hi, my name is Ari. I'm a 5th grader at Roosevelt Elementary, and my favorite thing is working in groups and sharing ideas.
Hi, my name is None. I'm in 4th grade at Roosevelt Elementary, and I like our class because I get to be a leader.
Yes, being a leader. So None, how are you a leader in our class?
I'm a leader by showing kindness and helping others. Sometimes it can be scary, but we lead class during Math Buzz, where the students became the teacher. We call on students, and we also almost call Ms. Haynes up. We ask them to solve problems, and if they don't know how to do it, I will help them.
Yeah, you do help them, and you do such a great job. Can you give an example of other ways that you're helping people in your classroom every day?
We never give the answers, but when they don't know the answer, I give them details and hints to learn to solve it. Or I ask someone else in the class to help the both of us with a solution. That's why teamwork is important.
Like if we're doing a division problem and they're stuck on something, I give them a strategy or a solution, like using area model.
Area model? Oh, do you know what area model is? I see lots of heads shaking. Well, they do, and None does a really great job of celebrating that strategy in her class. It is used for multiplication and division so that they and other students can see the work that they're doing as they're doing that math. So thinking forward, Ari, can you tell me what you love about working in groups and sharing ideas?
I like it because we pair students with those who know a lot about the topic with those who are still learning so they can support each other.
Okay, and what have you learned by working in these groups?
Everyone has a different answer, and we can share that by explaining what you know. We can either disagree or agree and solve it by telling your own ideas about things. This is how we always approach problems.
Yes, okay. And can you both share an example of working together with others on a project in Ms. Haynes' class this year?
We did an escape room to learn about the 13 colonies. We had to work together to solve problems before we could unlock the clues and move on to the next problem. Like one of the questions was about the year a colony was founded. The answer was the combination to unlock a safe.
For some people, it's confusing, but everybody gets it to the end. We work very hard to solve it with each other. It's very cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ari and None, for being leaders and coming up on stage today to talk about that. So I'm going to close this out. Thank you, Ms. Haynes. I'm going to walk off the stage. I just want to say it's been a phenomenal journey getting to see these students lead collaborate, and build projects with their peers. Oops, I went a little too far. I really love hearing the excitement from our students at Roosevelt and Tacoma, as well as what they explain about their learning, as we noticed today. I get to participate alongside them, but something that most students and even parents don't see is the effort and planning involved in making one of these projects, activities, or instructional practices come to life. The hard work and thoughtfulness the teacher puts in before the lesson even starts. So for us, this comes from weekly collaboration. Ms. Haynes and I have built a relationship centered in encouragement. You're awesome, you've got this, you do it, you're doing great. And to build her up as an instructor who can facilitate the growth of her already amazing students, as we've seen. I have the opportunity to observe her class amongst others, 10 other classrooms at Roosevelt Elementary, to get a broader perspective of what specific coaching Ms. Haynes can benefit from. So as an additional set of eyes, when we plan, I'm able to give precise feedback that are specific to her and her students, that these adjustments can be things for her activities or lessons that can directly improve their engagement and the overall learning that happens in their classroom. Using our STEM by TAF model, we can focus on things like how often students are talking versus the teacher talking, and incorporating more collaboration as we've seen today. This process is beautiful and is honestly my favorite part. I love being a sounding board with someone and coming up with ideas and generating new things that they can do in their classroom that the teacher and the students love themselves. So as teachers have become empowered to take risks, to be innovative, to rethink the traditional learning classroom, like Ms. Haynes shared, we can make learning more fun and engaging and overall practical for our students as they move forward in middle school, high school, as young adults. But first, it requires a mindset that is focused on our students themselves, their interests, and their development for tomorrow. So thus, as a coach, I am just a small piece of this puzzle to project-based learning. I offer support for teachers, building them up through their planning and coaching them as a peer. I previously was a teacher. So we can build up their own students, their confidence, their leaders in the classroom, in their school, and truly our community. So together we work together to make a difference in how others can feel confident and supported in taking risks, focus on their voice and leadership for tomorrow, today. Thank you so much.
Hey guys, we're here at our school, TAF Varsity Luncheon, with one of our awesome science teachers. How has STEM by TAF model changed the classroom experience for you and your students?
I think students are more engaged when they know that they're solving real-world problems and contributing to things bigger than just our school. I also get to take on like a mentor role instead, where I'm helping kids solve what they want to solve instead of telling them what I want them to do or learn. That really builds students' self-confidence and their ability to think for themselves. Students really remember what they learned. So even projects we did in 6th grade, in 8th grade, kids are still talking about it, which when you're just doing something out of a textbook, kids aren't always able to tell you what they did. But when you do a big project like that, they remember, and they remember why they were doing it and what they learned from it.
Can you tell us a story that highlights this change?
So one of my favorite projects that I've worked on is a project we do for 6th grade, where we study biodiversity in cities. We also got the district gardening expert to come in and work with our kids. She was able to contribute so much to our projects. She was able to tell them what's really feasible and what isn't, and how to increase biodiversity and why that's so important. And even kids who had me in 6th grade that are in high school now can tell you what their 6th grade project was. So you can see that they've really bought into it and that it is contributing to who they are as a person, because they've really learned how to work together, how to be excited about something, and how to solve it.
As an educator dedicated to change, why does this shift matter?
If you want the world to be a better place, then you have to teach the youth how to make it a better place. And teaching them science or math or humanities separate from the reason you might do those things is not as valuable as showing them that these are tools you can use to solve a real world problem, and that you are capable, no matter what age you are, to solve those problems. And I just think that's really valuable. Like, it makes me feel like what I'm doing as a teacher is something that's going to impact the world and make it better.
Thank you for talking with us, Ms. May.
Hi and welcome. My name is Ariel Wahab. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator at the Mass Center Aquarium of Highline College. If you don't know where we are, we're in Des Moines, down on Redondo Beach, where we have a public facility where people can come in and learn about marine life, but also enjoy it at our aquarium, which is at the end of the dock there, where we have about 250 different native species to Puget Sound. There, we are promoting the understanding and appreciation of the marine environment and trying to get people in the marine environment to become stewards of Puget Sound. And through that, we do a lot of hands-on opportunities, and we have animals that people might not encounter just naturally on the beach, one of them being the giant Pacific octopus. If you don't know a lot about the giant Pacific octopus, they start off as tiny as a grain of rice, and in 3 to 5 years, they grow to the size of a car. So about 16 feet and 150 pounds. We house one at the aquarium right now. Her name is Pickles. She's the one in the middle photo. She is roughly 4 inches across for her arm span right now. And by the time we release her back into the wild, she'll be about 7 feet across and roughly 40 pounds, where she'll live out the rest of her natural life in the natural environment. But with giant Pacific octopus, they're kind of like toddlers. If you leave them alone and you don't get them toys, they get destructive. And so we have to keep them engaged and keep them mentally stimulated. And we do that through octopus target feeding and enrichment. Enrichment is giving them toys or puzzles to solve, so they're using their brains, they're using their arms, because if you didn't know, octopus actually have 9 brains, 1 in each arm and then a central brain. So they need to work them out a lot. So in here you can see we gave her a submarine, and it's filled with treats. So she gets a reward after she learns how to destroy the submarine a little bit. So with that, we have been invited to TAF to be a project and event mentor, where we bring our problems that we have at the aquarium, such as keeping an octopus occupied while they're in our captivity. And so we approach a bunch of different students and groups to try to solve that problem. So we're gonna bring on stage a group of girls here who have given us a solution to our problem, and that we'll see here very soon. All right. Will you introduce yourselves and your grade?
Hello everyone, my name is Masa, I'm 8th grade.
Hi, my name is Asma, I'm 8th grade.
Hello everyone, my name is Taiba, I am 8th grade.
Awesome. So what is your project's name, and why did you choose to train an octopus?
Our project name Octospin. We chose this idea because we wanted to help make a pretty food house for the octopus and see how smart they are.
So Octospin is your invention designed to help keep the octopus engaged and give it food. Awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about how your project actually works?
Yeah. Here we put the food by open this up. Then we close it. And the octopus comes open this side, enters. If the octopus is too big, it's use the tentacle to get food and come back. If the octopus is small, it goes all the way down the tube and gets food, then come back out. The microbit lets the octopus know there is food by the light that will flashing inside.
Awesome. So you all had to learn how to use a microbit, which is kind of a mini computer. So you learned how to code, and then your last prototypes are 3D printed. So you learned how to 3D print. Awesome. So your project has changed over time looking at the different materials. Can you tell us how it changed over time and why?
This is a prototype 1, and we put the shrimp, food for the octopus to get then come back. Our next steps were to add a lid, make this taller or this shorter.
All right, so adding a lid after the first prototype. Now the second prototype, what did you change from there?
For our second prototype, I don't have a closed bottom like this. And this side was broken. The octopus is so smart that they could open this part where the food goes, and so we needed to make another prototype.
Okay, so we've learned that octopus are really smart and they can undo a latch without a lock. Awesome, so need a lock for an octopus, but also you were missing a bottom so the octopus could escape. So a little changes. We added a lock, we made sure that it couldn't escape from the mechanism, and then we added the micropit. Awesome. So what are you most proud or happiest about this project and when it comes to building this?
I am proud of us for making this project and working hard together.
I'm proud of programming the lights by the microbit so the octopus can see the food.
Also, I'm proud of designing a home for the octopus to eat.
And I just want to let you all know, I'm super proud of these girls because of them standing up here and talking to all of you is a major accomplishment. So give them a round of applause. So what are the next steps into making your project even better?
Our next step would be to make a slider this side. So then the octopus comes, it's open on its own to get the food.
Okay, so adding a sliding door so that the octopus gets in there, then sees the light that the food is there and grabs the food. So we're testing its eyes, we're testing its knowledge of sliding doors with a screw cap. That's amazing. I think for me that would be challenging getting a snack, let alone an octopus trying to get a snack. So I am super excited that TAF invited us to be a project mentor. One, because we get to work with amazing students like this and get to see the creative process behind coming up with these inventions. But our next step is actually looking for funding to make this waterproof so that we can actually test it in our aquarium with Pickles the octopus. And so if you all are going to donate, please donate to help us fund this project so that we can feed Pickles even as a little baby to a full-grown adult. So thank you all so much.
Hey there, we're at our school, TAF Varsity, with an amazing science teacher who's going to tell us a little more about the work she's doing here today. How does the STEM by TAF model prepare students for college, career, and beyond?
In a traditional classroom setting, often science, there's a single focus, meaning you're taking a biology class or a chemistry class or a physics class. By using the STEM by TAF model, the curriculum becomes more interdisciplinary. So oftentimes I have students who come into the classroom and they're interested in going into the medical field. Medicine is often an interdisciplinary collaboration. You have to work with many people to deliver the best plan of care for somebody. So not only are students exploring these interdisciplinary avenues, they're also practicing their collaboration skills. Because in the real world, people need to work together, right, to solve problems.
How different would the school experience be if they started from kindergarten?
Students and families would have more of an opportunity to individualize the students' learning. Let's take 5-year-old Mirabelle. Mirabelle is very interested in flying in airplanes. During her elementary school years, teachers and families would really foster that love of aviation with Mirabelle. And when she's learning about aerodynamics, she, might be just using something really simple like a paper model, right? And as she grows, though, her skills are also going to grow, and that complexity of that model should also grow. By the time she gets to middle school, maybe now her model is more of a drone, so that by the time she gets to that 9th and 10th grade level, she's actively exploring programs that can help her with her career goals, and she's out in the community meeting other people who share her same interests and making those connections.
During my time at TAF, the combination of opportunities and encouragement from the teachers and TAF staff have guided me to be the best version of myself. TAF as a Holly has given me the space to grow and explore my interests.
So, to learn more about how that support impacts students after high school, we're here with 3 former TAF alumni to share their personal journeys. Please welcome Kevin, Artina, and Luis.
Welcome, everyone. Let's start with introductions for everyone in the audience.
Hi, good afternoon. Thanks for having me. My name is Luis Barrera. I work for the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, also known as KCPAO. I'm responsible for the day-to-day IT operations, and I also lead a team of IT professionals. They provide the best customer support and experience, and as well as leading projects.
Hello, my name is Artina Daniels. I graduated from TAF Academy in 2017. I was part of the last graduating class who graduated from TAF before we transferred over to Sahali. I graduated from the University of Washington last year with a degree in, thank y'all. With a degree in theater scenic design, and now I work at the Auburn Community Center as a makerspace specialist.
Hey everyone, my name is Kevin. I'm a TAF at Sahali graduate in the year 2020. Last month I graduated from the University of Washington as an informatics major. And now I do part-time research in regards to helping faculty at the UW still, in regards to their research with artificial intelligence and how that fosters children's collaboration.
Alrighty. Luis, let's start with you, because I think you have a great name, personally speaking. Alrighty. So I know you were part of TAF's early days. You were at their after-school program. Could you share what program that was and how it compared to your regular school experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I graduated the Technical Teens Internship Program, TTIP, back in 2008. TAF prepared me for my future career in tech and also my professional, and the professional world, right? A lot of us don't get that experience in high school. And the difference between a regular school, right, especially public school, and TAF, where in the public school, you're taught to the book, right, especially in AP classes. TAF was more of a hands-on learning, right? We worked on projects, and really what we liked as students, my peers. Alongside of that, my peers were motivated, right? They wanted to be there. And as a young teenage immigrant student, that gave me a sense of belonging, right? And confidence. And TAF has always been very focused on also giving back to the community, which in schools you don't get that, right? In regular schools you don't get that. You just go to class, and I would volunteer my time going back to schools to volunteering and mentoring younger students as well, which I really, really enjoyed. It was a great experience. Thanks.
Kevin and Artina, is there a specific experience as a TAF student that impacted you during your time there?
Yeah, I would say in my high school English class is something that still impacts me to this day. If we can cue over to the Frankenstein slide, I made this movie poster. And while we were reading the novel Frankenstein, the project component at TAF was we were supposed to create some sort of movie trailer and along with that to make a movie poster. Due to time, I can't really show you the movie trailer. I also just couldn't find it, but I have the movie poster right here. And the entire main point of the novel makes us question about the emerging technologies that are coming on about. The first thing I tend to think of is artificial intelligence. And when in a world where it seems like artificial intelligence is making us question our livelihood, our autonomy, our creativity, our responsibility as human beings is to stay as human as possible. So always question the emerging technologies that are coming on about and understand how they impact us as a whole. Hopefully my high school English teacher was happy with that answer.
Yeah, I would say for me, also ditto to Luis, he was always there all the time, mentoring the students and stuff. We saw him there at TAF Academy all the time. I would say an experience I had at TAF that really impacted me was I got to be part of the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research in-school program that TAF had. I participated in that program for 3 years, in the in-school program and in the summer program. And that was a really unique and really great experience for me because I got to see how science was being done in real life on modern diseases and things like that we have going on. And it was a really just great experience because everyone there was really supportive and just awesome. It was really great. We had our little lab for students and stuff. It was really cool. We got to learn a lot.
Really? Good to hear from y'all. So as a TAF student about to graduate myself, I would love to hear how each of you feel learning with TAF prepared you as you all launch into your careers.
Yeah, as I said earlier, right, TAF taught me a lot of, I gained a lot of skills. And a lot of that was leadership skills via the TAF Ambassador Program. And also how to communicate with others. Alongside of that, there was also, we learned how to interview, not just for internships, jobs, but also college, right? How to write your own resumes, your cover letters at 15, 16 years old, right? And I think for me, at least with TTIP, we also learned, or I learned, computer languages. And of course, my favorite was computer networking. And all those skills I use today at King County.
Yeah, I would say for me, if we can go over to the next slide, I made this application called Tutor Finder, which is essentially an app that connects tutors with students in the nearby area for any students who are having trouble with a particular subject that they're struggling in. And I like bringing up this project in particular because it's actually quite related to the work that I do now when it comes to my research. So what you see here is a user workflow diagram, and it essentially allows you to see the entirety of an application and go through every single screen and such. And I like talking about this project because TAF gave me an opportunity from, I think I was like maybe in 8th grade here, and it's still work that I do today, and it's something that I always was able to practice, and I wouldn't have been able to do it if it wasn't for TAF.
I would say how TAF prepared me for my career is, first of all, dress for success. Whenever I have like a job interview, whenever I have a job interview or any sort of like professional engagement, I think about like how I would dress for success at TAF. And if I wouldn't wear it to dress for success, I probably shouldn't wear it to this event. So. Yep. That for one, and then with TAF being a project-based learning model, as a designer, as a creative, having a creative field, you often are coming up with ideas from the ground up, so they don't really exist. And with project-based learning, that is exactly what you're doing. You're taking something from conception and bringing it to life. And I feel like TAF taught me how to, not only that step-by-step process, but also how to find resources and create my own resources to really bring that project to fruition.
Nice. Lastly.
That's so cool. Okay, so what advice would you give to students like us as we grow and start our own journeys?
Yeah, I would say, you know, let's see, sorry. So for me, I would say to give students, as you're growing, right, really think about who you're meeting today, right, who it is you're interacting with today. You never know how they're going to come up again later in your career or in your life, right? They can become your friends. They can become, you know, really someone that will hire you in the future. I will say I have a Troy Hilton over there. He was my teacher back in TTIP, and you know, over the years, we've become friends and a mentor.
Yeah, I would say for me, if you have like all the clues in the world, or if you have zero clue on what you want to do for your future and such, I would say that the biggest piece of advice I would have liked to have given myself, I guess I would say, was always be able to understand how to convey process. When you're able to tell a story from beginning to end, talk about an idea or talk about a project from the ideation phase to something that's actually working. It doesn't matter what field you end up going to. If you're able to convey a story, you'll go very far.
Lastly, we're here at the TAF Luncheon, right? So what would you like to share with people here today who are considering investing in TAF's work?
I would say if you're considering investing in TAF, do it. I'm very biased, so certainly. I would say, like I mentioned, the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Program, I didn't find out that that was something, that program is often found in graduate level programs in universities. That's what I learned in my time at UW. So to have that unique experience at TAF is very different. And TAF was really good at providing those types of unique programs and connections for students. And just to go on about Fred Hutch, everyone there really cared about like my education and my growth and everyone's education and growth. And TAF is really good at finding programs where they have people who care like that for your student in whatever interest that they have. So certainly invest.
Yeah, and my message to those that are here today, those that are watching, because it is being live streamed, right, is that the skills, the friendships, the impact that I got, the impact that it had on me, and the potential impact that it can have on future students, right, is priceless. It's completely priceless to them, to themselves, to their families, and their community as well, right? So TAF is creating future leaders every day for the last almost 30 years. So absolutely, go ahead and invest in TAF's work, please.
This is so much fun. Thank you all so much for sharing your wisdom and experience with everyone today.
Thank you.
Good. Please give a hand to our students and our alumni here. All right. Let's go. While they're transitioning, I'm going to remind all of you that Oh, honey, I love you. One of my first babies. I want to remind you all that we have raffle tickets left to sell, and this is the last round. So get it in, and you have to be here to win. So we have folks here that have their little pads out ready for you, okay? And then while that's happening, can Federal Way Public Schools and Tacoma Public Schools, could you guys stand up for me, please? Come on, come on. Thank you, thank you. I want to make sure that you guys get a lot of recognition. I'm talking loud, sorry. Make sure you guys get a lot of recognition as well, because it's really, we can't be here without courageous partners who are willing to push the envelope here, who are willing to do something that most people aren't willing to because they're too tight to the system that they've been given. So I appreciate you giving us this chance to work with you, to work with your schools, with our students now, right? I guess they're our schools and our students now. So thank you very much. When Jill and I first started TAF, Jill's over here. Jill's right there. Yes, please give her a hand. When Jill and I first started TAF, people would ask, where is TAF going to be? And I said, well, in 10 years, I think we're either not going to exist or we'll morph into something else. And we have morphed into something else. We're going to be 29 years old in October. And the thing is that we knew back then, what we still know now, is that sit and get and memorization is not the way you educate kids. They need hands-on. They also, while mastering their core academic content, they also need to learn how to think critically, how to solve problems, how to communicate effectively, cultivate a community and a social justice stance. Because remember that saying, if you don't stand for anything, you'll what? Fall for everything, right? And so we want to make sure they know who they are. We want to make sure that they are developing a reflective mindset so they have time to think about everything that they've been learning each day and to talk to each other about it, particularly when they're reflecting on their projects and they're preparing for their presentations. And then afterwards, it's just amazing to see them sit around their classrooms and talk about what they learned and what they could do better. And then finally, when you start thinking about learning how to learn, I don't know how many of us, when we were in K through 12, where somebody taught us that we have to learn how we learn. Are we auditory? Are we visual? Are we hands-on? What things excite us, et cetera. So we make sure that our kids understand that because we are all learners. We are consistent learners through all of our lives. And then all of this leads to them to have an opportunity to collaborate and to learn how to be leaders. So when you think about this, and you think about the way we work, none of this shows up on standardized tests. None of it. That is not a way to measure kids' knowledge. You saw these kids up here. You saw that they were on their path to these competencies. They are on their path to being socially conscious and self-aware, critical thinkers, problem solvers, ideators, creators, and leaders. It is a process. And sadly, our state does not fund this kind of process. Our state is starving our public school districts. And we want to be able to help them. We want to make sure that the students who are in our care, that they get what they need. We can't wait. Our kids are not getting any younger. We need your help. So my job today is to engage you and ask you to help. I guess it would be good if, okay, there you go. So today, as mentioned earlier, my friend Evelyn and her husband Matt have generously gave you some incentive to give more. They are matching every gift of $360 or more, and I'll show you the significance of that gift in a minute. They're matching you if you become a monthly donor and if you increase your current monthly donor contribution. They'll match it 100%. That $360, that's all it costs for one student in our schools to get an entire year of a STEM by TAF education. That includes their coach that's on the campus and all the extended learning that we provide. And in the scheme of things, that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're talking about 1,700, 1,800, 2,000 students, for us, that's a lot. So we really, really need your support. Our state has not defined what it means to be well-educated in Washington State. But somehow, they're trying to fund basic education. How can you fund something that you don't even have a definition for? And the sad part is, our students are the collateral in this adult fight. So we have a chance here today to change that for the students that are in the 8 schools that partner with TAF and the future schools, because we want to add more schools. There are more districts that want to have this kind of education, but they can't afford it. So we're trying to help them. So the way you can do this, and before you think of an amount, but I'm just going to show you how you do this, you can scan there's a QR code on your table. It's on the back of your program. It's also on those tent cards, or you can text, or you can leave a pledge card in the big envelope that's on your table, or you can write a check and put it in there. But I want to share something with you. We've learned so much since we've been doing this work, and particularly with the Partnership for Schools. We've been partners with schools since 2008. As we learned, we improved. We navigated through staffing changes on our side and on our school partner side, curriculum changes, new standards. I don't know, I think we're on, I don't know how many new state tests since 2008, at least 5 or 6 different iterations of it, right? Changes, budget cuts. We've navigated all of that. And we believe that we have the formula to authentically transform public schools. It starts with having district leadership that are willing to push boundaries. School leaders who foster an environment where it's inclusive, where students can learn and teachers can learn. And having a diverse team of teachers who are willing to hone their craft on a regular basis. We can't go to college, get a degree, be a certified teacher, and then let time on the job be our professional development. These teachers are willing to learn every day. Having an equitable way of teaching that connects students to the real world is super important. And then having, as you saw, having the instructional coaches support the teachers on a daily basis makes a big difference, particularly if they're having challenges with something new, or they're not sure what they're doing, or they have this great thing they want to try. And having a belief that learning is a process. It's not get done with one subject, get a grade, and move on. It is a process. It's not forced memorization. We're constantly learning, and we can't teach kids to be continuous learners if we are not. And finally, having a business community that participates in teaching and learning. Now, we have a lot of businesses that complain about our public schools. I don't see too many of them contributing, right? And when they do contribute, it's not very much. They can do better. Yes. And then we know all of this takes time, and we have built the intestinal fortitude to weather all of these storms. That is why we feel so confident in our goal here. TAF is a preferred education partner because we prioritize relationships, and we have proven processes, talent, skills, and resources to change student and teacher experiences through liberatory education, racial equity, and racial literacy. Our students deserve our best. Our students of color deserve to see their cultures represented in every way in their schools. Our students deserve to be authentically assessed. Thank you. Thank you. I will share, just because you clapped on that, I'm going to share something real quick. I was at Roosevelt Elementary, and they were, this was 4th grade, and they were talking about their individual cultures. And the teacher asked them one simple question. If you walked around our school, and then you also looked in your books, and you did not see yourself represented, your culture represented, how would that make you feel? And one little boy said, it would make me feel like you forgot us. And that was raw, and that was real. We have to do better, particularly for our students of color. Our students deserve to be authentically assessed by multiple measures in all areas of their development, not just the 3 R's and move on, everything, all those competencies that I mentioned. And we are here for all of it. So I'm going to leave you, before we transition, I'm going to leave you with my favorite James Baldwin quote. For these are all our children. We will all profit by or pay for what they become. Think about that. These are all our children. It doesn't matter whether you have kids. It doesn't matter whether your kids have gone through the system already. These are all our kids. They are counting on us. Don't let them be the collateral damage, because adults can't get their shit together. All right? Let's do it. Thank you. Please give generously. Please also think about scheduling time with us in the fall to come and tour some of the schools so that you can see what the kids are up to. Please think about volunteering as well. Now we are going to transition to the raffle. Ooh, we're going to start with the Amazon prize bundle. Oh, this is good. Okay, which one is this?
Okay.
That's the last one. We gotta wait for that one.
You're looking for.
This is the one I want right now. Okay, y'all get your numbers out.
Dig real deep.
I'm digging. He's talking about dig real deep. I'm over here like moving everything around.
I can tell it's legit.
Okay, you can, huh? Yeah. All right. Okay. Natasha Rivers. All right. There you go. Good job. I'm going to shake your hand because I don't have the thing. But somebody has the thing. Thank you. Okay, before we do the second raffle, I want to make you aware that we have a podcast. So if you want to know more, like the deep down nitty gritty, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything it takes to transform schools, check out our Learn More podcast. We're already on episode 4. Episode 5 is going to be out in a couple of weeks. There's an opportunity at the end of each episode for you to go to our website or whatever platform you're listening from and to give us feedback on how did you like it and what more do you want to learn about. We want to make sure that we cover the topics that are important to you, that are important to our students, and important to our community. So how many of you listen to podcasts in general? Raise your hand. Okay. Okay, that's a lot. So I should see those numbers go up, right? Yes. All right. Thank you. All right. Now for the big prize. The 2 first class round trip tickets. Adelaide, also known as Flower, is standing there. Okay. Woo. Okay. I got it. This I'm going to dig, and I'm going to move. Did you shake this thing?
I shook it a lot.
You shook it? You sure? Mm-hmm. Like a whole lot? Mm-hmm. All right. Y'all ready? Okay. I got one. Who is this? Virginia Anderson. All right. There you go. Okay. Very good. I want to thank you for being courageous. Thank you for showing up for us. Thank you for showing up for our students. Thank our two wonderful MCs. Yeah. And you can leave envelopes on the table. Somebody will come behind you and grab your cookie. You have a commemorative cookie that's somewhere out here on the edge there. Grab it on your way out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a lovely sunny day.